What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to the top 10+1 best war robots in 2022. The most up-to-date video episode at this point, with all robots excluding the Mars robot, although I will be placing the Mars from the test server in this ranking as well, but it may not be very accurate because we don't know yet the legendary pilot for it, but I'm gonna give it my best, okay? And it's still gonna be 11, basically, 10+1. The reason for it, I'll explain later. I'll be splitting this also into two video episodes because otherwise it would be way too long. We're starting with the top 11 to 6 here in this one, and next weekend you're gonna get the 5 to 1, alright? So hopefully you're ready for it. And one more thing, for the sake of this video, and since this is a top such and such best ranking, I decided that we need to find a solution on in what state these robots take on this challenge. So I gave every single robot their best legendary pilot, drone setups and modules, okay? So we can rank them better. I hope that makes sense and you're agreeing with this. So before we go with the top 11 though, I had a really cool idea on how to integrate our new TikTok channel to the YouTube channel as well, and that is by giving all followers on TikTok a special treat. If you watch this TikTok channel later down this day, you will find tomorrow's YouTube video already in form of a short version on TikTok, and I do this more often now. So yeah, follow me on TikTok. You find the channel down below and the link, and that would be really cool. Also, it gives me a nice transition. What you see here is the giveaway. We still have it going. I will announce the winners within the next couple of days on all platforms, so stay tuned. And yeah, let's get back into the top 11. So let's go for it. Number 11, the Blitz robot, with magnums in this case because I went a little more creative on the weapons side, but other than that I went with maximum and most powerful items. And also, since I recently made a Blight video on the Blitz, which was one of the best things you can put on it, and I thought this time let's go with something less powerful to show you how powerful the robot Blitz still is in today's meta, with its double ability on the pilot side with the Death Survivor, where he gets the ability twice. Really awesome. Also, it's kind of a funny story. I'm going to attach it right here. Why the Blitz is even in there, because I told you it was going to be in the top 10. Yeah, turns out I made a little oopsie there, ladies and gentlemen, because I enumerated all the robots I had gameplay for, 10, 9, 11, and so on, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, until 1 and 0. And then it turned out that 0 was its own number, but I also had 10, and I ended up with 11 gameplays and 11 situations, and when I was counting them in the video editing, I was like, wait, how did that happen? Now I know. So, in order not to scratch the gameplay, I thought let's put it in. It might be an entertaining thing to tell, and also maybe you do want to know what the 11th robot would have been if the ranking goes on. So here we are with the Blitz, okay? And I am in a bit of a tough spot right here. Everybody is around me, and I end up taking more damage than I want to, but I get this ability twice due to the Death Survivor pilot skill that basically really saves this robot's butt so often and makes it so much more powerful than many other robots. It's really this pilot skill that brings the ability twice. But of course I need to stress once again, we do need the Clive Vicious pilot for this to work. Without that legendary pilot, this Blitz robot will not score anywhere near the top 10. But again, I said this is the case with many setups you're going to see here. And we are running the best of the best on every single one of them. That means the best legendary pilot with the extra charge for Ravana, for example, and so on, right? Bernadette Wolf for the Fenrir, and all this, okay? I'm already giving you a few ideas here, but let's go with number 10, the Mender, with Marie Leclerc, the legendary pilot that makes it so that the Mender will restore gray durability as well, keeping people essentially in the game forever, and yourself too, because you can never really die. Now we're going in to fight this Blitz robot right here. And the shell robot, and he's doing a lot of damage to us with the explosion and everything, but it doesn't really matter because turns out I'm a Mender boy, and a Mender boy does what a Mender boy does, which is healing forever. And with resistance and powerful pulses of healings all the time, restoring as gray as well as regular lost HP at the same time, this thing becomes a beast. And in order to, let me just show you something here. We are getting attacked by yet another Revenant jumping on us here, and we are already half HP. And after this battle, with me healing, we actually have more HP after than we had before the battle began, and that kind of summarizes very well what the Mender is capable of, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I decided to make this video into 2 videos, top 11 to 6 now, and then 5 to 1 in another episode, because it would be too long. And for the same reason, I also accelerated this gameplay here, because it would just take an entire video just to show you this. It's accelerated by 10 times, in case you're wondering, just to show you what a single Mender can do in a single match and why the Mender shows up in this top 10. I essentially cannot die. If you take a look at the top left, I constantly take damage, 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 and then it goes back up. And then damage, 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 and it goes back up. And that happens not just with me, but every single ally around me, and that places the Mender where it is today in this meta with this legendary pilot Marie-Claire. Hats off to you, Pixonic, for bringing an old robot back into the game by bringing a legendary pilot. Appreciate this so much. Good job on that. And that was the end screen. Let's go with number 9, the Warrior Typhon Mark III with these modules. And in this case, we're running the legendary pilot that gives you a resistant bypass on these type of weapons. The Scourger that we have right here has now resistance bypass on its regular shots as well, not only in the blast charge. Of course, you could go with a different legendary pilot for the Typhon as well, but I thought this makes sense because I wanted to run this weapon setup. And in order to run this weapon setup, why not max it out with the best legendary pilot for it? And you can see it clearly works because we're battling a super powerful meta robot, the Capri right there. And we are actually able to really ruin this guy completely. He doesn't stand the slightest chance, of course also due to the fact that he's far away with shotguns, but still, this thing, it would essentially be impossible to be killed for most weapon setup, but this Typhon with its 4 medium weapons, incredible firepower, shield breaking, which I'm doing right here, with the paralysis drone for maximum damage output, and then of course at the same time, the fact that we have this resistant bypassing effect, it just makes it a completely almost broken setup, and placing him rightfully in the top 10 at place number 9 right here. You could argue that the Typhon is more dangerous and deserves maybe possibly even a better spot. I'm not 100% sure about this because all the other robots coming in the top 10 now from this point on, they are, in my opinion, just this slight little bit better and more dangerous, or more tanky, more universal, more whatever, to be more relevant in the meta. I guess this is how I can kind of think, because look how fast I get killed. This would not happen to a Fenrir, it would not happen to a Skyross, and it would not happen to a Capri. That you get killed in 5 seconds because turns out your shield is low. And let's not forget about Harpy Sirens and things that bypass your shield with shield breaking. That is really the death of the Typhon because it doesn't have a lot of HP. It just saves its butt with these shields, and if you bypass them, the Typhon says bye-bye, right? So, place number 8 is, and that is one of my favorite robots still in the game, the Ravana. You're probably not surprised to see it in the top 10 at all, because I've made many videos explaining why this thing is a beast and why it absolutely should not be taken too lightly, because, you know, don't underestimate this guy. It has massive firepower. Tremendous amount of health. It's ridiculous how much health it has. It's like a Titan, and then it can shift through all the negative effects, can shift through enemy abilities and outweight them. It overall is a monster and an absolute universal beast. You're fast, you're tanky, you have firepower, you've got everything you need for a meta robot, right? The only thing you do not have is something that the robot has that is currently attacking us, the Revenant. The Revenant has many of the attributes that the Ravana has, with the slight extra thing of the teleportation and saving the gray HP during its ability run. And although as much as I love the Ravana, that's why I still place the Revenant slightly above the Ravana. That teleportation just makes a difference on the battlefield. It just allows you to do things other robots simply cannot do. To teleport on a landing Harpy behind the corner that would otherwise not be reachable for you or approachable, but the Revenant can do it. He just jumps on it and rocks the boat, right? And then it remains tanky at the same time, restores durability forever, and it's just a monster overall. And here we go with place number 7, the Revenant. I hope it's 7. I hope I don't just forget something here. And that's exactly what I'm telling you here. You have a Siren in front of us. He would have landed in safety, but I'm a Revenant and he is done. And then, of course, with the ability restoring gray HP, you cannot really be taken down very good. As long as people catch you in your ability. If your ability is over, you take definitive damage much more, and you can actually be taken out, especially by these weapons such as Scatter and Havoc. They're very dangerous, and my Ravana snacks Revenants for breakfast very often, simply by catching them or outweighting their ability charge, and then hitting them super hard with the Havocs once they come out of the ability. It's fatal damage and definitive damage, and that's how you kill a Revenant. But other than that, it's next to impossible to kill this guy easily. And that is also a reason, in combination with the jump, why this thing is here so high up in the top 10, even before my beloved Ravana. I'm just gonna have to be fair here. It's not as much as I love my Ravana, dude. It just places a little below the Revenant. And yeah, so we're still rocking the boat right here. We have a Capri and a Revenant against us, and somebody else is flying there with a Fafnir or whatever. So it's not exactly the best thing to be in, that best situation to be in, but it's nothing that a Revenant can't handle. I had my ability active, and my gray HP kind of stays open, and I just keep healing, getting resistance at the same time, and just having a blast ruining everybody here on the battlefield. And then eventually, after an hour or whatever, I get some support from Titans, and the tide of the battlefield turns in my favor, and we're basically doing what you can see right here with 10 times speed. So, that was number 7, I think. So number 6 would be the Skyross. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is number 6. And I'm sure some of you will argue that why is it so low? You know, the Skyross, let's face it, the Skyross is a douchebag. That's what the playstyle of the Skyross is. You can't win, you don't leave your ball. That's how it is, right? If you know you can win, you leave your ball and you kill the enemy and you go back. It's kind of a sissy playstyle and a real douchebag one, but at the same time, that's how this thing operates, right? Can't blame the Skyross for it, and can't blame the players playing the Skyross. That's how this thing works. And also, let's not forget, there is 2 different legendary pilots for it. One of them allows you to be better in one-on-one combat because you suppress everybody around you when you unfold from the ball. The other legendary pilot lets you be impossible to be resistant breaking. Not even Titan weapons will be able to break your resistance with that other legendary pilot on the Skyross. Now, it depends on how you want to play it. If you want to play this thing as a beacon runner, and you want to be this super annoying dude that just rolls around, captures every beacon, and just can't be killed, you're gonna go with the first legendary pilot that was released that gives you the impenetrable resistance, okay? However, if you want to be more like me in this case, to be fighting more, be more aggressive playstyle for one-on-one hands-on combat, then you would go with a legendary pilot. Sorry, I forgot the name. You'll see it. You saw it in the intro here when I introduced him. That pilot would give you the suppression. You can see I unfold the ball, the guy gets suppressed, and I can take him down. And you can do this quite often. Every time they run out of their resistance against suppression, you can do this again and drop them. Of course, very dangerous in this situation is when you rely on it and the enemy has anti-control, because then you unfold and you activate your vulnerable Skyross mode, and then it turns out the guy's not suppressed and he has 4 punchers on his behemoth and he just says, and you're done. Okay, so this is a pretty bad thing. So that's also the reason why I don't place the Skyross so high up. Higher up in the list. The Skyross didn't make it into my top 5 because it can't fight while having resistance. A Fenrir can, a Capri can, this guy can't. You want to have resistance? Well, you're gonna be rolling around, you can't shoot. You want to fire? Well, there goes your resistance. And that is the reason why the Skyross does not score higher. Depending on the legendary pilot you play, you can still make a couple of differences, but overall, this thing is, for me, the place that you see right here, place 6. Now, how it goes on from this point is, as I said, in the next video, next weekend basically, the number 5 to 1, and then we're gonna score the Mars somewhere also in the next episode. And this way, I think it's cool because we had 6 robots in this one, and we'll have 6 robots in the next episode. It's a really well working round thing for me, and hopefully you're interested and hyped to see how this list goes on. Tell me also of course in the comments how you think, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said right here. Tell me your place 11 to 6 here, if yours differentiates or is different from mine. Appreciate it to have you guys here to watch it, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching. Until then, Manni signing off. Bye-bye. Come on, die, Sharenga. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I remember this. I told him that he's not really a threat anymore because he only had one weapon. Yes, I forgot about this. I saw he only has one weapon. I just walked away. The fun thing is though, he got taken out by somebody else, and I died in the end anyways.